Let's be real. You could have the best idea in the world, the most brilliant product, the most heartfelt emotion, but if you can't communicate it, does it even exist to anyone else? See, effective communication isn't just some soft skill, no way. It's the absolute bridge between your potential and your reality. It's how you get that job, build that relationship, and earn the respect you're after. So let's break down how to actually master it.
And this quote, man, it just nails it, right? Everything that's inside you, your ideas, your value, your true self, it only becomes real to the outside world when it crosses that bridge of communication. So the question we've got to ask ourselves is, how strong is the bridge we're building every single day?
So let me ask you this, and be honest. Do your words confuse more than they connect? We talk all day long, but how often do we really stop and think, am I actually connecting with this person, or am I just making noise? If you've ever had that feeling where it's like you're speaking a totally different language than the person in front of you, you know exactly how frustrating that is. So where do we even begin to fix this? Well, you might think it starts with speaking, but nope. The true foundation of connection, the bedrock that holds everything else up, is listening. This is where we make the huge shift from just talking at people to truly communicating with them.
And this is where the big mindset shift happens. See, most of us, most of the time, are just listening to reply. We're just waiting for a little gap in the conversation so we can jump in with our point. Active listening completely flips that on its head. It's about putting your own agenda on the shelf for a minute and making understanding the other person your number one goal.
Just look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? On one side, you're basically just reloading your conversational gun, waiting for your turn to shoot. But on the other side, you're fully present. You're not just hearing the words, you're catching the emotion, the tone, the stuff between the lines. And that's how you build trust. You're showing someone, hey, I'm with you. You have my full attention. Okay, so once you've got that listening foundation locked in, we can flip the coin and talk about the other side of the bridge, crafting your own message. This section is all about the tools you need to make sure that what's in your head is what actually lands in their head. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Think first, then simplify. But you and I both know in our crazy, fast-paced world that values speed over everything, these two habits are absolutely revolutionary. Seriously, mastering these is the fastest way to cut through all the noise and make your message stick. You know, so many of us are absolutely terrified of a little silence in a conversation. We feel this urge to just rush in and fill the void because we're scared we'll look uncertain. But the opposite is true. Taking a deliberate pause shows that you respect the conversation enough to choose your words with care. It signals control and thoughtfulness, and that is way more powerful than just talking fast. And that right there is the key to influence. It's not about using big, complicated words to sound smart. It's about clarity. People follow what they understand. And if you want to see what happens when we totally forget this, well, get ready for this next slide. It's a perfect example of what not to do. Oh, come on. We've all been in that meeting, right? We've all heard someone talk exactly like this. This kind of corporate jargon is designed to sound super important, but what does it actually mean? Nothing. It's confusing, it creates distance, and it makes people's eyes glaze over. It is a barrier, not a bridge. And boom, there is the exact same idea, but said with simple, powerful clarity. Everyone gets it instantly. There's no confusion, no eye rolling. This is language that connects, that persuades, and that actually gets stuff done. Simple, direct, and way more effective. Okay, so we've got listening, we've got clarity, but great communication goes even deeper than that. It's not just about the words you choose, it's about the feeling you create. This toolkit is all about building that intangible sense of rapport and trust that makes people actually want to listen to you. Think about it. When you see two people really connecting, it's not just about what they're saying, is it? It's all the unspoken signals. The way they're making eye contact that says, I see you. Their open posture says, I'm receptive to what you have to say. And the whole flow of the conversation, driven by genuine curiosity and open questions, that says, I'm actually interested in you. This shows just how a tiny little shift in your language can totally change where a conversation goes. On the left, a closed question. It's like a conversational dead end. It invites a yes or no and then silence. But on the right, an open-ended question. That throws the door wide open. It invites a story, a real share, a genuine connection. So we've got all these amazing tools in our belt now, for listening, for clarity, for connection. But how do we actually get good at using them? The truth is, great communicators aren't born. They are built. They're built through practice. And this last section is about the engine you can use to drive your own improvement. I want you to think of this as your personal training loop for communication. These 3 steps, if you do them consistently, create this powerful cycle. They show you what you're actually doing, they help you refine your delivery, and they give you a reality check on how you're being perceived.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this first one can feel a little cringe at first, but it is so incredibly powerful. Recording yourself is like getting an objective, totally honest report card on how you actually sound to other people. All those little filler words, the ums and ahs, or the weird pacing, you'll hear it all. It turns your assumptions into facts and gives you a clear roadmap of what to work on.
This one is literally like going to the gym for your voice. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day of reading aloud trains your enunciation, your pacing, your vocal endurance. It builds the muscle memory for clear, confident delivery so that it becomes second nature when you're in a really important conversation.
And finally, we have the one that takes a bit of courage, but man, is it a game changer. The simple truth is we can't see our own blind spots. We just can't. Asking someone you trust for specific, honest input is the fastest way to find out how your message is really being received. It's a gift, even if it's hard to hear sometimes.
All right, so let's zoom out for a second and put all these pieces together. Becoming a powerful communicator, it's not some magic talent you're born with. It is a skill. And just like any other skill, it's built through intentional practice. Your transformation doesn't start with some big, grand gesture. It starts with a simple choice to be a little more mindful in your very next conversation. And this really brings us to the most important mindset of all, captured perfectly in this quote. It's not about being perfect in every conversation. It's about being willing to be imperfect, to try anyway, to sometimes stumble or say the wrong thing, and to just learn from it every single time. It is always about progress, not perfection. Look, at the end of the day, everything we just talked about is just theory, until you actually do something with it. So the real question, the only one that matters, is this. What is the one small thing you will do differently in your next conversation? Will you try to listen just a little bit more deeply? Will you take a breath before you speak? Will you ask one more open-ended question? That small choice, that's where the real change begins.